the halves, Brooke and Biharul, and up front for Keighley today, their forwards. We can see that Emmett binds them all together at loose forward. Rawlings and Sagar in the back row, and in the very front row, Scott Law, Nathan Conroy and Matthew Bailey. And on the bench for the Cougars, Aronson, Trey O'Sullivan, on loan from Batley, James Feather and Gavin Reid. And this is the way the Wolfpack are lining up. Tagagai, the fullback, three-quarters, Pownall, Worthington, Hall and Kay, Wallace and Braley. A very familiar back line-up and a very familiar front row as well. Fui, Bezic and Emmett, Whiting, Laithwaite, Bussey binds them at loose forward, and on the bench we will see Jacks, Fleming, Crossley and Sidlow. Referee today just holding up the game, Mr. Sweet, about to get us underway here. It'll be Keighley in their green, white and red to get us underway, and Toronto in that again familiar black will be getting possession in the early stages. Decent crowd here as well, just looking around.
Good
I think
crowd.
It's a little bit more than we had last time we were here in the league. It's Biharul who puts the ball high in the air. It's Toronto who have the first touch of the ball, and they're running slightly. There's a slight camber here, isn't there? They're running downhill, Toronto, in the first
I would
half.
hope you'd mention that for our viewers, that there is a genuine slope that Keighley play particularly well as well, and they love going down the hill in the second half.
It's a very Yorkshire thing, isn't it, a sloping ground? Here's Laithwaite. Batley's the one with the biggest slope, and they've got a penalty straight away of Toronto. So a couple of carries in, and they're already with a chance of getting it out of play. Here we go.
Well, I think
the ball collision.
I think Briley was taking off the ball, wasn't he?
So there we go. Tap restart. Hall with it, looking to take it in. Keighley looking to measure up here in these early stages. Brendan Rawlings, the Australian, one of those involved in that defensive effort. This is Fui pushed them away, but he's bounced the ball, and Keighley come up with an advantage play, and their tackle count will start from here, and that's a real bonus for the home side.
Yeah, the green jumper got in the way and he dropped his lollies, did Fui. Keep hold of the ball. Certainly came off his long run up then, didn't he, Fui? But got to take the ball with you.
Conroy out of dummy half back. It goes from Emmett towards that right-hand side. I think we've mentioned it before. Mike Emmett and Jake Emmett. I'm not sure they're related. I don't think they are. I think there's different spelling of the names as well. Anyway, Keighley up towards halfway. Nathan Conroy at dummy half. Left. Biharul helping it on its way, and he gets a little flick pass. Back again. This is Hawkyard, who's got a bit of zip, but he gets the ball out to that right-hand side where Brooke picks up and finds himself smothered by Wolfpack defenders.
Well, it's early and it's expansive from the Keighley side. The Cougars deciding to throw the ball out at every opportunity, try and disrupt the defensive line of the Wolfpack.
It's a good effort from Matthew Bailey, the former Bradford Academy player. Back it goes. Biharul puts the kick high in the air. It's an early test for QLT, who catches under not too much pressure, but his go forward is limited to a couple of strides.
That's a great place for Keighley to start a defensive set. They've started the game real well.
It's a difficult pitch out there as well, isn't it? It's quite a heavy ground. Not the smoothest path that they will have run on either side. QLT, search one, went the other. Shoulders coming in from Emmett and Biharul. Bezic, a dummy half to Emmett. Jake Emmett. Forward with some enthusiasm. Bezic now. Emmett's just a little slowish to his feet. Briley's going for an early kick. Is this a 40-20 attempt? It's certainly an attempt, but it'll bounce away from touch. It'll be picked up by Vinnie Finnegan, and Finnegan with a pass back to Hawkyard again.
Well, there's that interplay between Finnegan and Hawkyard, trying to get something on the front foot happening for Keighley. I think there's a penalty here.
He's given a running behind his own man, I think. Yep, he's given an obstruction, using his own man as a shield there. Davy Dixon. So the penalty goes Toronto's way. Going to tap this. Bezic takes it. Jake Emmett will be the first man in with a bit of a push. Hits the defensive line and takes it back a stride or two and puts Keighley right on the back foot again. Bezic out of dummy half. Loose pass by him. Picked up smartly by Wallace, who we saw his try-scoring capabilities last week. Blake Wallace, didn't we?
Yeah, he was on fire, wasn't he? 3?
Hat-trick. Briley ducks away, got one and then another. Smack to the head. It's a tough old game. He has to get up and get on with it. As Whiting brings it across the field. And Keighley defenders with plenty of enthusiasm.
Plenty of enthusiasm. Great word, Woodsy. And a knock-on.
Knock-on by Whiting. Congratulations for Brendan Rawlings from his teammates for putting the pressure on.
Well, it's just the enthusiasm that forces this area. Richard Whiting's has skipped across the line. He's trying to get himself a quick play of the ball and drops it.
So head and feed to Keighley. 10 from their own line. Talk about Toronto's try-scoring prowess this season. Craig Hall, #1 top try scorer, 23. Liam Kay, Johnny Pownall both have 19. But Keighley have got a couple in there. Andy Gabriel, who we heard earlier, is not playing today because of a workplace injury. But Adam Ryder, the #32, the centre, he has got 15 rather. So they are very, very capable of getting over their opponent's line at Keighley.
Yeah. They've been playing well recently as well, back end of the season. And here's the expansion they're talking about, their coach was talking about. Don't take on the big black jumpers at the middle, finding offloads.
The Harold ducks and weaves away and looks at, and Finnegan's there, has got a bit of space, and Finnegan maybe didn't quite fancy taking Pownall for pace. He takes the safer option of the inside path to stay in play. Right of dummy half goes Conroy, and a big push and urge again. Scott Law Judge, as we love to call him, because that's his nickname. And now Baharol with a kick. He's certainly behind the 40. That's not a bad kick, but QLT has covered the ground well enough to get across there. Kay's making a bit of a tempting run, but QLT will take the tackle.
And we've seen them link before, haven't we? QLT going across the line, trying to find this fellow Liam Kay, who's not a bad ball carry himself.
Kay on 19 tries this season, gets up and plays on the halfway line, and Bussey will take it in with all that usual determination and energy. And Bezic at dummy half collects, and Fui's to his right-hand side, and they're hanging on here, Keighley. Defensive hits going in. Bailey on that occasion. Here's Emmett and Wallace and Whiting, back to Wallace again. But Keighley have it covered. One play to go in the set. They're going blind. Worthington with a grubber kick, pings off a shin or two. The referee says played out.
Called it back to one. He got a bit lucky there. Whether he played or not, the referee adjudicated that he did.
Bezic out of dummy half, testing them on the first tackle in this new set. A couple of strides away from where he wants to be. High and hanging for Wallace, and back to Bussey, and Bussey 10 metres out. Bezic comes galloping across, assuming that general's position. Wallace to Brierley, who's reaching there, and QLT taking him on one-on-one and gets the pass away. And Johnny Pownall plunges over in the corner for his 20th try of the league season. And Toronto up and running with 7 minutes played.
Well, QLT is the architect-in-chief in there. He drags Adam Ryder, who's trying to stop the play, but Vinnie Finnegan gets attracted right to the depth. So we see QLT going to the centre, drags him across, and Vinnie Finnegan, the winger, gets tempted by the play, didn't think he's going to make the play, and Johnny Pownall with a great catch to get him in at the corner. There's a little skip play from QLT, and there's the finish from Johnny Pownall. Good skill from QLT. Managed to attract 2 defenders, which gave the opportunity to Jonathan Pownall.
I think we've had this before as well. You used to coach Vinnie Finnegan, didn't you, when he was at Bradford? Were you his coach? No? Shake of the head from Brian Noble, and he uncorks his bottle of Chateau Neuf.
Yorkshire water, tap water. Very nice.
Here's Hall with the kick. Looks decent, not quite decent enough. Goes wide, and 4 points to 0. Toronto lead.
Well, they won't be discouraged here, Keighley, because they've been vigorous in defence and looked expansive in attack, which you're going to have to be and score some points. And Vinnie Finnegan gets caught in no man's land there, while neither coming in nor staying out. So early score for the Wolfpack. This is a cat against a dog. You see that, don't you?
This is what, sorry?
A cat against a dog.
Cat against a dog. It is, yeah.
Yeah.
A wolf.
Well, it's a dog, isn't it?
Canine. What are we waiting for here? What are we waiting for here?
Not sure.
Referee is Ryan Briley is getting a bit of treatment. That's what we're waiting for. he's okay. Got a couple of banks to the head in the last couple of sets. Harrell puts it high in the air, and it's caught safely enough by Wallace, and Emmett brings it back towards that 20-metre mark. So measuring up already the team in black here.
You're hurt there, Emmett.
Yes. That shoulder. It's Fui. On the bench, Sidlow, Fleming. They've got some power on the bench. Have Toronto. Emmett trying to gather in again down the hill. To remind you, Toronto playing at the moment. This will suit Fui as he goes in. And his big run up. Three defenders clambering all over him. They've got to gang up on Fui. Can't leave it to one man. Here's Briley with a pass out back. For Tila to go. Pownall picks it up. Can he make a diamond out of this rough here now, Pownall?
Well, he certainly recovered the meters they lost with the pull pass.
So the last play in this set, Briley's kick is he's been put on his backside again there. Ryan Briley by Matty Baharrell, and it's out of play. A
few verbals afterwards as well. Yeah. I don't mind that.
A bit of attitude here from Baharrell. Yeah. He's just letting him know he's in the game.
I don't know if he's having a giggle there or he's snarling.
Grin. It's a Richter's grin. Anyway, it's Keighley's head and feed. They've come up against each other in the past, other than I don't think Ryan had signed, had he, when they played each other? These two teams played each other early in the season. Anyway, there's a bit of confrontation developing here today. 10.5 minutes of the first half played. Conroy swinging it to that right-hand side. Courtyard coming in at dummy half because he fancies a little bit of a run here at this Toronto defence.
Well, that's that bit of application that Craig Lingard was talking about. So if you're against a big set, you need to find a little bit of footwork to find your front or a quick play of the ball.
Penalty. Holding down by Bussey. So penalty for the Cougars, which Baharrell will find touch. It's a good kick. Good kick.
First defensive test here for the Wolfpack.
There's a tap and a drive by Segar, who gets it away. Baharrell's quick hands again, and Rawlings trying to get inside, but he's 15 away from that Toronto line. Not sure about the play of ball, but on they go. Scott Law takes it in. That's a good settle. A good position found here by Scott Law. Options right and left. They go right into the hands of Emmett and across the line, right across the line towards that right-hand side. He might have gone in here. Might have gone in. The referee is having a look. Well, he's got his touch judge over there, and he's given the try. What a response that is. What a response. Casey, the man who's over.
Well, it's good speed of hand. They're going to the fringes clearly. You think the Wolfpack have got the numbers in defence, but he gets on the outside of Worthington and keeps his legs pumping. Unclear here where they got it down, but the referee and touch judge is saying he's got that ball down. So we can see here, so it's a try to Keighley, gets on the outside of Greg Worthington. Saying he got the ball down, try. Yep. So the outside of Worthington. Kay can't offer enough assistance to stop the Keighley play, getting the ball down. Good try.
There's a bit of a hesitation here because I'm not sure Josh Casey was named on the team sheet, was he?
I think Hamish Barnes.
It was Hamish Barnes who was down on the team sheet.
Well, I think that is.
But Josh Casey is the man with the number 3 shirt on, so there's a bit of confusion. The kick is fantastic from Baharrell. It is. Yeah, well, there's the confusion cleared up. It is Hamish Barnes who scored that try, but he's wearing Josh Casey's shirt. It should be number 34, Hamish Barnes. It says number 3, Josh Casey, but it is. We have had it confirmed that is Hamish Barnes who scored that try. Baharrell's kicked the goal. It's 6-4, Keighley lead.
Yeah, all the time we were saying, I was saying I didn't want to call him Casey because I was confident it was Hamish Barnes.
Yeah.
I've met him.
Well, Hamish Barnes has got a bit of a Canadian pedigree as well, isn't he? A Jamaican international who actually made his debut for Jamaica against Canada in 2014. And again, we're being told from the sidelines that Hamish ripped his shirt, and that's why he's wearing Josh Casey's number 3 shirt today. So there you go. Here's Conroy anyway. What is beyond any doubt is that Keighley are leading by 6 points to 4 with 14 minutes played.
Yeah, it was good play from Keighley to get over the line.
In by Judge. 10 inside the Toronto half. Conroy at dummy half. Here's Baharrel. Baharrel will just watch that ball dribble towards the line.
Great kick from Baharrel. Pinpoint accuracy, pins the Wolfpack into the corner. They'll have to ruck their way out. Great enthusiasm as well from the green jumpers.
So here's Briley at dummy half. Skips it inside. QLT, they're looking for some width here. Wallace almost caught, then the dummy. Yeah, he gets it away. And suddenly they're galloping downfield again here.
They've got Keighley's inside.
Worthington, 2 men there. But where that finished from where it started gives enormous relief from the Wolfpack. Here's QLT to Briley. Now it's Hall.
Hall will go.
Into the gap, offloads. Too much being asked of Pownall.
Went back.
Pownall's run away from one would-be defender. Shape of Ryder. Moi. 10 metres out from that Keighley line. Position placed well. Bezic goes left to Briley, and here's Wallace, and now QLT. He's made one try, but he can't quite make another with that trickery. Ball's out of play.
Well, I don't know if there was a Keighley hand on that, but didn't execute well enough there. The Wolfpack get to the fringe. QLT goes on the outside. And is there a hand? No, there isn't. It just flicks the pass, and Kay can't get it in. Head and feet Keighley, or turnover.
Well, it's a very similar pattern to what we saw in the first game between these two, this, isn't it? Keighley really coming out strong and really getting in the faces of the Wolfpack, giving them a challenge. The question is, can they sustain it for the full 80 minutes this time around? They went off the boil a little in the first game. In the second half, there's Hawkyard ragged around. Conroy.
Well, that's their challenge, isn't it? An 80-minute performance Craig Lingard was looking for.
Listen to his feet, picked up rather smartly here by Conroy again. This is wonderful, wonderful dummy half play. 5 gone, last play coming up. They wanted a penalty, they're not going to get it, so they're going to have to try and create something. Beharrel's poked kick takes a kindly bounce for QLT, but there's nothing kind about the confrontation from the defenders who come in.
They're up for this one, aren't they, the Cougars?
Pownall. Kay at dummy half. Oh, it's a poor play the ball from Pownall, and it has given possession back to Keighley.
It's just enthusiasm. Keighley are climbing all over them. They're trying to get up to play the ball. Can't give this Cougar team too much possession for nothing.
It's a real challenge going on, and then up he gets, and well, you have to kick it backwards these days. Once upon a time, you'd have been okay with that, wouldn't you? Once upon a time, but that rule changed a good few years ago now. Here is Hamish Barnes. Let not the number and name put you off, as it did with us. Conroy. Sagar. Conroy again. Sign from Dewsbury, Nathan Conroy for this season. A deflection in the flight. Here's an opportunity. Vinny Finnegan is over in the corner. Acres of space, and Finnegan is not going to miss that one from that distance. Cougars goes to Chapman Cougar Park. They lead by 10 points to 4.
Brilliant start from the Cougar side. Great set play. Wolfpack jumping out, making poor decisions on the fringes, all trying to close the play down, comes up with nobody, another player trying to close it down, and It's a big pass for Vinnie Finnegan to finish the play for the great drive from the Cougars. Good skill. Good skill.
Rawlings pass at the end of it, but plenty of other smart handling in there as well. 19 minutes played. Paul Rowley's looking as comfortable as he would have hoped to have been feeling at this stage of the game. His side trailing by 10 points to 4, with a Matty Baharol kick to come here.
Yeah.
So Matty Baharol, who were it not for Craig Hall, would be the league's best goal kicker this season. This is for his 85th success of the year, and boy, has he got a boot on him. Matty Baharol puts it over. 2 out of 2. 12 points to 4. Keighley lead.
Fully deserving of their lead. Getting to the right parts of the field and putting the right players on. Harold leashing the back row and Finnegan with the easiest of tries.
So off we go again with Hall's kick downfield. Still a long, long way to go in this game. We've played just 20 minutes, a quarter of the match played, but there's a task on here for Toronto. Well, the sides are lifting their game as these 8s are entered. We saw that from York a couple of weeks ago, and Keighley have got their engine started early as well. Conroy. Put out back by Mike Emmett. Stepping and weaving run down the middle again.
There's a little bit of footwork at the middle, troubling some Wolfpack defenders to close that play down, but it's good play from Keighley, well played.
Sextettle is the next. It's out towards Brook again, kicks back high towards the middle panel, safely underneath it, and the pass away to QLT has gone to ground. Keighley have it. Offside. Keighley man was offside.
Got lucky. Called him offside. Didn't pull out of the play. Yeah, I think he was offside, and he's within the 10 metres. That's what he gets done for in the end. Went without the ball, QLT.
Yes,
can't do that.
It's that rule which baffles rugby league aficionados, doesn't it? If you're in front of the kicker and you get within 10 metres, even if you have no effect on the man catching the ball, you are offside. And we've seen some very high-profile tries down the years disallowed because of that rule.
I think they should look at the law. Well, it's not particularly because of this incident, but
yeah,
probably because if somebody's not interfering with somebody, it should be play on.
But Toronto ain't complaining at the moment because they got the benefit of that, and they get themselves back inside Keighley territory when they might have been tested to the limit again there. Here's Bussey. Has he lost that? Touch judge gives a shout to the referee, who was unsighted, to say he has lost it, and Mr. Sweet, Andy Sweet, has given Keighley head and feed. It is all going the Cougars' way at the moment.
Well, you can't give the opposition that much possession, and I think this is play 3 of an offensive set, and we'll see if we can see what happens to the ball. Well, I think there's a hand in there, but the referee couldn't see it, so he's every right to look after it as well.
Toronto players in danger of encroaching the offside position again there, because the ball was just held at the back of the scrum. Here's a lift on Hawkyard. Sorry, Finnegan. Put down safely again. Here's Conroy. Bustling effort again from Adam Ryder. I mentioned him a time or two last time we were here, the former Huddersfield YMCA player. It's a club that also produced a certain Keith Senior, who went on to have a fantastic international career, and with Leeds. 5 gone, here comes the 6th. Baharol again, looking for that unerring accuracy that he's provided so far, and that needed dealing with because Pownall under pressure have been clobbered out of play there.
Yeah, been well dealt with by Pownall. Plenty of kick pressure from the green jumpers.
Pick up by Panol, getting on the right foot and wriggling an extra 10 yards. That is real value for his side.
I thought it was a flop when he got him later on. I thought it was an offence the first time.
Little apology from Scott Law to his teammates there in acknowledgement of the penalty he's given away. Toronto with a tap restart inside their opponent's half, which Hall will take up first. Johnny Panol went over in 7 minutes. It looked as though it was going to be script as normal for the Wolfpack, but anything but since then, because of the way that Keighley have applied themselves to this game. Sidlow.
It's a good carry, isn't it?
Here's Bezic in front of Briley. It's a poor ball, intercepted by Baharrel. They are simply not joining the dots at the moment, the Wolfpack, in possession, and they're paying a heavy price here as Ryder brings it forward again. Wants it played quickly, gets it played quickly. Look at the ground they've covered already. Finnegan on tackle 3 is up to the halfway line. There's some troubled looks across the Wolfpack faces. Lovely little pick-up from Conroy. Sprightly, dashing out of dummy half. He goes right. They're coming in waves here now. And eventually the tackle.
He's having a game and a half, isn't he, Conroy?
Well, they've still got one play to go. Conroy left to Emmett, to Baharrel. Familiar, kick, Finnegan. Oh, Panol,
great catch,
really
Panol.
good again.
And tackled in the air, it was a penalty.
The referee just touching his elbow to say that there might have been an elbow lead as well here. He's having a right to challenge for it, but not when the elbows are in the face of his opponent. So Ryan Briley's taking his time to bring the ball across here, just letting his side calm down a little. The adrenaline is flowing amongst the Keighley team and their supporters. And his kick, Noble's ball, sails over his head. Bussey. Going an arm free there, considering an offload, but keeps hold of the end. Bezic. He goes left to Sidlow. Sidlow takes it in, and he gets the offload, and Emmett will take it another bonus 10 yards or so.
Both teams are making decent progress when they hang on to the ball, aren't they?
Bezic. Sidlow. Skittle over. 2 plays to go. With Wallace with a short pass, and Whiting goes through, and QLT is on his shoulder, and as quick as a flash, a bit of Wolfpack class puts them back in this game.
Well, I think it's the ball from Blake Wallace that splits this Cougar defence wide open. They get their skill right for once. Wallace, Whiting hits a great hole, and like all good fullbacks on the outside, finishing the plays, QLT. Here's the ball from Wallace. Lovely little short ball. Whiting hits the hole. Try the Wolfpack.
It's almost like somebody's hit the mute button, right?
It's a great atmosphere, isn't it?
It was, but it's gone quiet.
I think it's what they call a home crowd.
Yeah. There's 1 or 2 Toronto, so you can see the maple leaf there, Canadian flag. Just to the right of the sticks. There's a kick, and over it goes. So it is 12 points to 10. It's a little more relaxed now. As Paul early at the back of the stand. 28 minutes played. His side trailing just by the 2, but they're in a contest here today.
Well, there's the short ball to Whiting. Comes on a great line inside shoulder. QLT on the outside.
yesterday of people very passionate about Keighley. One or two very passionate about the Wolfpack, and some neutrals as well. We had this last time we came here. A lot of people coming here today to watch this because it is a chance to see the Wolfpack against very good opposition. We see the latest interchange. James Feather is on. Conroy having gone off. It'll be interesting to see how that alters the dynamic over dummy half, because James Feather is maybe not as nippy, but he's got terrific experience.
Yeah, he's a good leader. He's Buster is his nickname around these parts.
Wallace, Whiting, Bezic, here's Sidlow, dropping the shoulder, flicks to Emmett. Emmett to Laithwaite, and now Hall away from Finnegan, stepping inside. There's 6 or 7 passes in this move already. Sidlow now takes it in, offloads. Wallace can't keep hold for all the fancy stuff. It ends with a fluff, and it ends with Keighley in possession.
Well, there's one pass too many. They create the field position, they create the fracture in the Keighley ranks, and they, well, Bussey spinning out of the tackle there.
Pick up from Davy Dixon, one-time Castleford Academy player. I think he was unavailable last week against York, but he's in today for the injured Andy Gabriel. Richie Hawkyard, another Scottish international, is dealt with by Briley, that is Whiting. And Feather will have a go out of dummy half. Into path towards that right-hand side, so a lot of options around the centre of the field here now on the very last play. Harrell again has to get it away as Bussey comes up. The kick is too deep this time. Well, the pressure there from Bussey has actually given the penalty away. He's going to compliment him on how good that kick pressure was, but the referee said he arrived there a little too late. So penalty for Keighley.
Let's have a look. I don't know how he can pull out there.
Well, the pressure obviously did its job because Harrell's kick was miscued in the end, but it has given Keighley an extra set of 6 to have a go here.
And they've been good in this part of the field, haven't they?
This is Feather. Harrell again, pulling a few strings, and now it's taken on by Mike Emmett. He's given it away. Toronto have it back in the shape of Dan Fleming, who's arrived from the bench. And the Wolfpack can breathe a sigh of relief again. Here's Hall.
So both teams guilty of making errors that are letting the other team off the hook.
Crossley's on the field as well now. He's just come on for Jack Bussey, the latest interchange. Galloping into position, he might be the man to take it up here, and QLT decides that he can't get through. QLT can get through, and he has support from Crossley, who is fresh, but he's still not as quick as maybe one of the outside backs. But Toronto are here, and they plan to get deeper, and Wallace drops his shoulder, rolls it back. Kay picks it up, gets over the line, and the referee has given the try. And again, it doesn't take much, just that extra class to find a way through. And the Wolfpack, from being in deep, deep trouble, find themselves in the lead at 14-12.
Well, it's QLT that takes off. Here we see the finish. Wallace going at the line, beats with his left foot step. What a pick-up from Liam Kay, you have to say. But they needed picking up. And there's the finish. There's the try. Blinking of eye, one end of the field, but it's Wallace is the break, but earlier the break was from QLT, and who's in support? Big Steve Crossley. He hasn't run that far for 10 years, in my guess. But he was there, he was fresh, you were right, fresh legs, and
well, he's
just back going the front.
He's just done 90 yards there, Steve Crossley, but 30 of those yards were coming on from the touchline. First involvement in the game.
Yeah. I was disappointed with that, Keighley, because certainly been very enthusiastic, and as you say, when something goes against this Cougar team, this place goes deathly silent.
Craig Hall again with a kick, and he's found it. He's on target. 2 out of 3 for Craig Hall. It's now 12 points to 16. Toronto have the lead. Here's the run.
Here's the break, is it? He just took off. He just pressed the accelerator. Gone. Off his short run up, and he was gone. Here's Crossley on the inside. You'd expect him to get run down. It's a while since he's done those 40-metre sprints, Steve Crossley. And then it's Wallace with the step, and the support play from Liam Kay with a brilliant pickup, you have to say.
It was a great pickup, wasn't it? under those circumstances. English rugby league viewers will remember Michael McAlorum scoring a Challenge Cup semi-final try a few weeks ago with a similar kind of brilliant pick-up off the floor. Takes a bit of skill. Here's Sidlow, who's 8 away from the halfway line.
Made a bit of a difference to Sidlow, hasn't he?
Crossley's involved again. He'll play here a time or two in his playing career with Dewsbury and Featherstone, no doubt. Taken on by Bezic. So Wallace stands at dummy half. And here's Briley, who's just dribbling that ball out of play.
Well, I think it's a measure of Keighley's competitiveness that they decide to find a sideline and manage a little bit of an engine himself, this Toronto team.
So they'll come out with possession here, and they've got a lot of work to do to get downfield. Here's Richie Hawkyard. Duck, and a double. Teaming up with Steve McCormack potentially. For the World Cup, end of the year, Richie Hawkyard. Penalty, Toronto offside. So there's a lift for Keighley. And maybe they've not done yet in this half because there's still 4.5 minutes to go. And when Baharrel puts this out of play, which he does, they will start their set only 20 away from the Toronto line.
Big set this for Keighley and for the Wolfpack.
Hammered in there by Sagar. It's towards the middle again.
Good tackle.
It's Baharrel. There's no way through here from Harry Aronson, who's just on the field. It's Baharrel.
He's buckling a few people at the moment. Dan Fleming.
Looking forward to watching this Harry Aronson, who's on the field. He's only a slight player. He's got a bit of zip about him. Given half a gap. Rawlings offloads. No way through for Feather.
I think they're coming this way.
Little kick towards the in-goal area. QLT will pick it up. Can he get out? Yes, just about out of the field of play. Back in the field of play. It's a big set of 6 there.
The temptation was to let the ball go, wasn't it? But he didn't. He decided to field the ball, and then his job was to get back into play, which he did.
Newell's pass picked up off the floor by Worthington. Here's Kay. Pushing himself at that Keighley line.
Certainly doing the tough stuff today as well, isn't he, Liam Kay?
Not square at the marker, which has given the Toronto Wolfpack a penalty here.
Well, they've been decisive, haven't the penalties in this game? Both ways. You know, we've seen a couple of scores on the back of certainly wasn't square. You're not allowed to stand side by side.
Well, suddenly, with 2 and a bit minutes to go, Toronto would be favourites, maybe to score again here. Worthington is up to within 20 metres. The lead at the moment is just 4 points. Keighley desperate to hang on to give themselves a real chance in the second half. Crossley back up to his feet. Here's Briley. Wallace. Oh, well tracked in defence. Wallace is up. And he's held up. He's not managed to get it down. Go back to the 10-metre mark and play it again. There's a Keighley player injured, though, here. Bit of bravery required there.
I bet you spend all your money on champagne, don't you?
Richie Hawkyard just having a scene too, and this is the reason why. Wallace almost drifting through, so he's going to have a second go. Hawkyard got underneath him.
It was a try saver. He didn't do what he's done there, Richie Hawkyard. It's a try for Wallace because he certainly wasn't tackled.
There's still a wave of attack to repel here from Keighley's point of view. Sidlow, 2 tackles to go after this. Briley again, and Whiting will find a gap between 2 defenders. And Whiting is over for his try. And that does give Toronto a lot more of a comfort zone as half-time looms.
Well, Richard Whiting's running today. His lines, his angles that he's coming back against the grain here, he's too hard to stop. He came earlier on, got himself a score. Play against the ruck, so you're playing around the post there, and Richard Whiting was just too quick. Hits the hole real well.
4th try of the afternoon for the Wolfpack. And they've really turned things around, haven't they, in these last 20 minutes, 20 minutes played. They were trailing 12-4. And there was a real whiff of an upset on the cards here. Keighley were playing terrifically well, and they might yet respond again. They might come back again, but Hall's kick extending that lead to 22 points to 12. They might be playing downhill in the second half, Keighley, but it's looking a bit more of an uphill task that they're facing.
Well, they come back against the grain. It's a little cross play in and around the sticks, and Richard Whiting is Briley just has to hit him. He's on the fly, he's in the hole, needs to catch the ball, put it down, which he does.
So we're into stoppage time at the end of this first half. Remember, that's not the official clock. Here's Harrell. Wallace. Isaac's pointing in all different directions here as to what he's going to do and where he's going to go and where he wants his team to go. It's in by Fleming. He'll be involved with Wales in that World Cup. Briley. QLT.
Looked dangerous every time he's carried the ball, and he's had to do the tough stuff today as well, hasn't he, QLT?
Laithwaite. There's still potentially time for another here. Briley again. Fleming hits the ground, gets up quickly, plays the ball, and here comes the 6th, and Briley's kick will just find touch. And I wonder if we've got time for the scrum to take place here. Neither side is in any rush to stop the clock by getting the scrum formed.
Well, it's been managed pretty well by Ryan Briley there. Wanted the sideline, got the sideline, walked to the scrum.
Glorious day here today, isn't it? This is what August should be in England. Not the weather we had at Workington last week. Finnegan. Going for a wander over to that right-hand side. Wallace wanted to nick the ball off him. The referee said, you can't do that once the tackle's complete, son. I'm going to give a penalty against you. And Harrell puts it out of play. Now, well, we'll have time. We will have time for the tap restart here.
Open under. I think somebody once coined that phrase.
Somebody once, yes. Well, here we go. Let's see what happens from here. Heather's got it. Another ball on the field. That would confuse matters if that wasn't rectified. So that ball is taken off. Now, what do we see here? What kind of thrills and spills have we got on this very last play? But Harrell puts it over the top. So go on, Vinny Finnegan. What have you got? Has a look on the outside, and he decides to come back on the end. Too many Toronto defenders for that really to blossom into anything more than the end of the half. Toronto leading by 22 points to 12, but Brian Noble, they've had some scares along the way.
They've had to fight hard. They've had to reinforce that attitude that you need at this time of year, because it's been tested. Keighley jumping out to that 10-point lead, was it at one point? Barnes had gone in at the corner. They're getting themselves together now, regrouping for. They love playing down this hill in the second half, but this game's by no means over.
22 points to 12, a more comfortable position than Toronto had at half-time when they played here in the regular season. But it's far from job done. Richard Whiting was the last of those try scorers, and he's now speaking with Aaron Murphy.
As Richard Whiting joined us, big try there at the end, Richard, to give you a little bit of breathing room. Keighley came out firing on all cylinders, so important to get that try.
Yeah, definitely. We didn't start the game as well as we would have liked to. But obviously, Keighley started very well and put us under pressure. We got into a bit of an arm wrestle where we complete our sets and make them complete their sets, and we managed to get ourselves back in the game, and we're taking a little lead into half time, but we've got to improve in the second half.
Well, they'll be buoyed by that win over York. Obviously, they'll be looking at it as, well, you guys lost to York, and it's a big win for them in front of a big crowd here. What are the keys in the second half to maybe tidy that up?
Complete our sets. If we get our completions up to 80 to 90%, then Keighley will struggle to go with us, but we need to be a bit more physical in our contact and our wrestle on the floor and control their sets when they've got the ball as well.
This is an important game as well, not only because of the Super 8 seedings, but it's our last game on UK soil before you go off to a lengthy stretch in Canada, so important to go out here with a win.
Yeah, definitely. We want to hit the ground running once we get to Toronto, and we need to put a better 40-minute performance together in that second half than what we've just thrown up in the first.
Richard, thanks for taking the time. Good luck in the second half.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Cheers.
He's back into the changing room now to join in that team talk. There'll be some harsh words, I'm sure. But we're back for the full second half coming up after this break.
Watch every game from the NRL Telstra Premiership live this week.
He's hailing through after the ball. He's got a score. Wonderful try.
What a try from South Sydney.
It is brilliant. Brilliant stuff by the Broncos.
Just too big and too strong. The Roosters will go back to back. Beautiful football. A beautiful pass. A diving finish. What a finish. Wonderful play, Canberra. Big tackle. Yummy by Morris. He's going in.
NRL Round 24 live this week.
Trevor.
Yeah?
You're a private landlord, right? And your tenants are in a tough financial situation. They can't pay their rent, which is keeping you up at night.
Yeah, but
you're with Direct Line. They'll repay any unpaid rent until the tenants are out. So relax, Trevor. It's time for me to put you to sleep. Coco?
Landlords. Direct Line guarantees to beat the quote and renewal premium of other insurers for the same cover.
We care about only using honey to sweeten our ketchup. Because at Hellman's, we're on the side of food.
If you think rugby league's just a game for youngsters, think again. Masters Rugby League is a new form of the game, specially created for the over 35s. From full contact to non-contact, there's a pair of shorts for everyone. Get fit, make friends, have fun. To find your nearest Masters Rugby League club, just search Masters Rugby League online or drop us an email.
Release the beast. Dare to go double with new Magnum Double Coconuts.
Fashion Week backstage at the Misha Nunu show.
This show is inspired by Nature's Beauty. I asked Chris if I could get the results I need.
I use Tresemme Botanique.
Enriched with coconut oil and aloe vera, no silicons or dyes, it nourishes for healthy-looking, shiny hair. Tresemme, used by professionals.
Whether you're a Super Yorkshire fan, a Super Lancastrian, or even a not-so-super Australian, if you're a Super Rugby League fan, there's one newspaper you really can't be without. Every Monday, League Weekly brings you the world of rugby league. From our own action-packed Super League to the red-hot NRL, and all the gossip in between. We have expert views from the best commentators and writers, plus forum pages, insider analysis, and all the stats that matter.
League Weekly, the #1 read for league fans. Giddy up.
Bad odour is caused by bacteria in your underarm. So we created Sure Antibacterial Odour Protection. Protection that fights the source of bad odour. Sure Antibacterial reduces 90% of odour-causing bacteria. Also available for men. Sure, it won't let you down.
So welcome back to Cougar Park. It's a decent game so far, isn't it? Keighley Cougars 12, Toronto 22, and for a while in that first half, Cougars had the Wolfpack really troubled.
Absolutely, I think their offload game and their expansive game, going to the fringes early and not taking the Wolfpack team on up the middle and making them run around a little bit was paid real dividends, didn't it? Early tries and ball movement troubled them.
And also the kicking of Matty Baharol as well. I mean, you picked him out beforehand as being the go-to player, and that's what he's proved to be today.
Oh, he's got a great kicking game, and as much as we like to see a running and a passing game and all the fancy things in rugby league, you've got to be able to kick the ball well as well, and he does that particularly good.
And how good was Nathan Conroy in that first half as well? The little hooper.
Yeah, I thought he was zipping around. He caused trouble pretty much on every one of his carries, and he also fielded, he kept wicket on all the players that were prepared to offload, so he was there and picking up the pieces and causing. He was a threat all the time, wasn't he?
He was. Let's remind ourselves of the tries, the way they went, and well, when this happened, I think we thought, here we go, Toronto looking comfortable.
Well, this is QLT who skips on the outside of a defender, attracts another defender, and Johnny Pownall, when he catches this, won't get too many easier ones than this, but great play from QLT and a good finish from Johnny Pownall.
Well, that was 7 minutes, this was 13 minutes. Great response from Keighley.
Well, Barnes gets on the outside of, now we've cleared up his name, Barnes gets on the outside of Worthington and just keeps going, and Kay can't get enough help to Greg Worthington. Touch just says he's got that down. But
a question of whether he got it down or not, but it was given.
Yeah,
and here's the second one, Vinnie Finnegan.
Well, this is good play, and a couple of misreads from the Wolfpack defence there. We saw them going against the grain, trying to stop that play, but great play from Keighley. They're moving really, really well. It's Baharol and just managing to release, I think it was the back rower released them in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, so 27 minutes, Keighley on top, but then just suddenly, bang. Toronto got the try back.
And the Toronto team is capable of that. You know, they're a little bit of an awakening, but Richard Whiting hitting a super haul for Blake Wallace to put him through. And then same again, it's Wallace, the architect, really steps and beats two people. And you have to say it's a fabulous pickup from Liam Kay to finish the try. And then right at the death, Richard Whiting hitting another hole, as they say, hitting in a good line in around the ruck and exposing the middle defenders of Keighley Cougars. So a little quieten the crowd a little bit and dampen the enthusiasm of Keighley, but they managed to take this enthusiasm into the second half, Dave. I'm pretty confident it's going to be a game.
That Whiting try might just have taken a bit of the wind out of the sails, but we saw last time they played each other that they kind of drifted off in the second half. They'll have learnt from that, Keighley, won't they?
Absolutely, and their performances of late will suggest that they've learnt from that. They like playing down the hill here, and if they get a score and get this crowd enthusiastic again and the noise goes up and there's a few errors, you know, they want to create that kind of hubble, bubble, toil and trouble atmosphere. You know, they want to create that nervousness amongst the challenge for the Wolfpack is to stay disciplined, improve their skill. I think the team that does that in the second half, I think Richard Whiting alluded to it, look after the ball, do the right things and ramp up.
Okay, I think we're going to be hearing from Simon Finnegan in just a moment, the assistant coach. Can we go to him right now? He's down there with Aaron. Can we go down there? Let's go down. Aaron is speaking with Simon Finnegan. Aaron. Oh, he's not there yet. We'll go to him in just a second. He's not quite there yet. But what's going on in the Toronto dressing room now? What's Paul Rowley saying to his side of this?
Well, I would think, well, clearly I'm not in there, but he'll be reinforcing the message about being a little bit tighter defensively on the decisions, improving our discipline, if you like, the discipline of the mind to do the things that we practice to do. Don't get involved in loose things that give the referee an excuse to blow the pee out of his whistle. I think both teams will be surprised how many penalties have gone each way and how influential the penalties have been as well. I think we've scored on the back of 4 of the penalties. So clean your act up a little bit, be a bit more clinical as the Wolfpack were the last 15 minutes of that half.
Yeah.
Keighley, I would say go back to the first 20 minutes of the first half. Craig Lingle will be reinforcing, keep pushing for each other, finding the offloads, keep getting away from the big men and frying your front and playing the ball quickly because you're troubling this Wolfpack team.
And the hill, I mean, we talked a little bit about the hill. I mean, how much of a difference does that actually make now that you're playing uphill in this second half?
Oh, I don't have any stats, but I promise you Keighley love playing down the hill in the second half. That's why they choose to run up the hill sometimes. So they clearly have a strategy of what they do there, how they play the ball, how they move for each other, how they kick the ball as well with the slope being down there. So it's a tough challenge.
OK, we can go to Aaron now, who's with Simon Finnegan.
Thanks, guys. And you know what? It was a good start by Keighley. We kind of expected that when we were here on March 26th. They came out of the gates fast, much the same today, but great composure by you guys to bring a lead into the dressing room.
Yeah, I think they've played really well, Keighley. I thought they started the game quite hard, and we expected that, though. They've had 2 good wins. They're coming off the back of being 2 very good sides in the middle 8, so they started well, but I think we've been pretty composed in how we've played and how we've controlled sets, and our backfield have been very good against getting us forward.
We talked to their head coach, Craig Lingard, ahead of the game, and he said it was imperative that they have a good start because they know that sometimes, especially the first time you guys here, the last 20 minutes, the professional legs kind of dig in and get the job done. It's important for you guys now to crack on from that lead.
Yeah, and a lot of teams have started well against us for that reason. We're a full-time team, so they probably think that they can't stay in there for the 80-minute period. But we've started games a lot. We've not been starting games very quick, in terms of points, we've not been starting games very quick. So I think we started all right today. We did some good things, and we finished ours quite strong. And there's been positive talk in there now. We know what we've got to do the last 40, and I think we'll do it.
One of the things I've noticed all season long being pitch side, and it's been a pleasure, your composure as the assistant coach, it radiates out onto the field, and the communication with Paul Rowley. Talk a little bit about being on the sideline there in that opening half when you've got a little bit of a gap to make up.
I don't know if I'm composed. I might be composed on the front, but it's a game of poker in it. I mean, there's not a lot that flusters both of us. We see most things in the game, and like we speak about all the time at half-time, there's another 4 minutes to go, and things in rugby league can change so quick. I mean, in this half it changed quick. 1 minute we're on top, the next minute Keighley scored 2 tries. So momentum swings in 80 minutes, so not a lot to get too flustered about. We just carry on.
Simon, always a pleasure. Best of luck. Thanks for taking the time. Best of luck in the second half.
No worries, thank you.
Back to you guys.
There we go, Simon Finnegan, they're out again, ready to get underway. As we said, Keighley kicking uphill on the slight camber here in this second half. And there's Jeff again. We mentioned Jeff last time we were here. His son Peter is watching in Toronto, and his daughter-in-law, I should say, Mary-Ann, and his 2 grandkids, Andrew and Matt, are watching as well. So Jeff, you're famous again. And there's the kick-off, which very nearly went out on the full. It was caught very well in the end, but you'd have to say it was an inch-perfect kick, that, Brian.
Inch perfect, and I was tempted, if I was a Keighley catcher, I would have stuck my leg out the back because it would have been ball back on the full and a penalty on halfway to Keighley.
I thought that rule had changed this year. Is it not behind the dead ball line? Anyway, here we go. Keighley in the green, if you're just switching on, and trailing at the moment 12 points to 22. They led 12-4 at one stage, but Toronto racing back into the lead with 3 tries in the final 12 minutes of that first half. While we're mentioning people, by the way, the kick there from Adam Brooke. QLT comes on at a flash and runs it in, and he's tackled. Well, it's a good carry by QLT.
He's carrying the ball well today, isn't he?
And a collect from dummy half by Pownall, who's already got his name on the team sheet. First to score, of course. We're mentioning people. We mentioned Jeff there, but Darren Mabbott is here today. He's been involved in Canadian Rugby League since 1993. And he's asked us to mention Paul O'Keefe, Caroline Ritchie, Lawrence Ross, David Graham and Paul Buchanan, who were all very much stalwarts of the Canadian scene. QLT almost through, knocks it on. So the free play here.
Well, that's one of those areas you're probably prepared to accept, because I think he was through the hole and Keighley defender just got his hands on him, surges through and dislodges the ball on the carry, so play on.
Bailey up to his feet. Keighley looking to grind up some of these yards with a little bit of an advantage. And a pick-up out of dummy half by Harry Aronson. He's not the biggest kid, is he? He made his debut for Swinton when he was only 16. He doesn't look much older now. He's 19 now. But he has got a bit of fleet of foot if given the opportunity. And feather to Hawkyard, and big hit on Hamish Barnes. Kay saw the target on his chest and came in. And Barnes is hurting a little. Kick high from Brooke. It's going to land here, it's going to land, and anything could happen next. Wow. Oh, that's lucky. Great fortune. There's an injury, is it? Dixon, who's gone down injured. Coming in here, trying to claim it.
Well, couldn't see what happened there. I just missed the clip that was on the screen.
It's Beharrell, isn't it? and Matty Baharol.
I think it's a collision with Johnny Pownell there. Was both trying to feel the ball, nothing wrong in that, nothing illegal, should I say.
Should have brought the sunscreen today, shouldn't we? It's a hot one in Keighley.
It is. Sun just shining in Yorkshire, David.
Does it?
Yeah.
This is the day, is it? August the 13th. Put that in the diary. Going to get a restart again here in a minute. Baharol is okay, and Keighley will be very, very pleased about that, because he is such a key functionary of what they do.
Yeah, he's crucial, isn't he?
Toronto carry on with their set from deep inside their own half. Tackle 2 sees them up to the 20-metre mark. What do they make from here now? Well, they get a penalty. Interference after the tackle was completed.
Well, it's hard to argue against the penalty. Certainly the locals are restless in relation to that decision.
Ryan Briley's aiming for our cameras. He's actually put it over the stand. So the tap restarted, hit the truck outside apparently. Taken in by Fleming. It'll have woken him up. Here's Bezic and a dummy half, and Fui's on the charge again here. Four of them pull him down. But you almost feel he's on his terms. Bezic now collects again. He's got Sidlow just to his left. He's looking further left. In fact, he's looking forward. Keighley have any potential gaps sealed quickly. Wallace, Sidlow, solidly in, less than 10 away. Bezic, 2 to his left, more to his right, including Wallace, whose short pass to Laithwaite has almost got him up to the line. What's the referee giving? A high tackle, I think. Yeah, high tackle penalty, has he? Or is he
I
just...
don't know what he's doing. He's giving a scrum.
He's giving a scrum. Head and feet to Keighley. Must have knocked on. Laithwaite must have knocked on.
Or is he giving a forward pass?
Who knows? It's a mystery. Get Agatha Christie on the case.
Hercule Poirot is somewhere around here.
Head and feed. Out it goes to that left-hand side. The big fellow Ryder, I think, is the man who's trying to get into his stride, but Toronto are across there to match him muscle for muscle. But it takes a little bit of stopping. And now Finnegan. Oh, what a stepping run from this fella. Off he goes again. Vinny Finnegan.
Great run.
Wow. Flash of Yorkshire lightning there, Vinny Finnegan. And now they're looking on the inside for Hawkyard. Up, down, up again quickly. Bezic, not square, takes the man out and has given the penalty away. Well, what a lift for Keighley at the start of this second half, provided by the dashing brilliance of Vinny Finnegan in the first place.
It was a great run, wasn't it? Step moi.
Bailey is down, Feather looks left, Hawkyard, Baharol. Into the line comes Aronson. Like a stalk of wheat blown over in the wind by those oncoming Toronto defenders. And now the big effort. This is Trey O'Sullivan. And they're bellowing for glory here, the Keighley fans. Their side are so close again. Toronto hanging on. It's another wave of attack to come. Back to Baharol. Out to Brooke. And now the step back on the inside from Barnes. Don't let the name and number put you off. It's Hamish Barnes. It's back with Brooke again. The grubber kick. Fui has fumbled. And it's Keighley who get their head and feed. Oh, it's a penalty. They were offside.
Oh.
What a stroke of luck that is for the Wolfpack.
Big stroke of luck. Moinwhite couldn't clean it up. Kick adjudicated. The kick chaser was offside.
Well, I think they knew because they were holding off, weren't they?
They were.
So I think the referee's got that spot on. But Fui didn't know that when the ball came to him. And he would have been a little alarmed in the first instance and greatly relieved when he heard the referee's whistle. And Toronto now can settle things down again. They are being tested here today.
Definitely. Said it wasn't over at half-time. All they have to do is get some field position.
Sidlow's had it stolen. He's furious. Feather claps him in his face. That won't go down well. He's given the knock-on rather than the ball steal.
Well, he's got every right to look after this ball. I think he's, whether he feels he's hard done to or not, the referee adjudicated that he spilled it.
Well, plenty of thrills and spills at the start of this second half. And Keighley enthused, still trailing by 10. They have to score twice, of course. Here's Barnes, the Jamaican international. Cuts back into inside. Well, in fact, born lad. He actually went to Dewsbury early this year and he played a handful of games and then came right back to Keighley again. Sagar. Signed again last year after a couple of years out with this club. Oh, what about that? Brook! Session! Hawkyard in support!
Brook straight through and Hawkyard through.
But it's Adam Brook who is the man who created that, the architect-in-chief. Hawkyard the finisher, and Keighley are far from finished. They're back in the game.
Brilliant try from Keighley. Great spree. Brook takes off. They think he's going to pass. He doesn't pass. He goes through the hole that they leave. And Hawkyard finishing, as he's done all season for this Keighley Cougars team.
Well, terrific stuff from Keighley. They have not accepted defeat by a long chalk. They are very much in this game. When this kick from Baharul goes over, which it surely will, they will be back within 4 points. So Baharul settles himself, over it goes. Kick 86 of the year. Kick 3 of the day, and it's 18-22.
Totally deserved score. Brook just goes through a huge hole. Dan Fleming with the wrong read, perhaps, and thinks he's going to pass, doesn't pass, runs straight past him.
Minutes played, game on our hands. 18-22. Keighley lifted, going down the hill. Gravity on their side, momentum on their side.
We'll be after that try.
But it's Toronto on the other side, and what have they got in response? They want it played quickly. It's going to be a big effort again here from Trey O'Sullivan. It's Coventry. He's signed from Batley. He's on loan till the end of the season now. Hawkyard takes it in. Buster Feather, dummy half again. Sagar just over the halfway line on tackle 5. Feather looks for touch with a very good kick. It'll be Toronto's head and feed, but they've got a 90-yard uphill trek to get to the other end with 6 tackles to go.
Smart play. Set after a score, put the pressure back and throw it back at the Wolfpack.
This place is turning back the years on some great days they had. What, 20 years ago now, Brian, 20 years ago when we had all that Super League nonsense breaking out and this place rocked every week. But they're turning back the years a little here, enjoying this in the sunshine today. It's Kay. Maybe it wasn't square, so had to just allow himself being pushed away. So the Wolfpack respond terrifically when they got hit by a double in the first half. Oh, Moy has lost it. We'll go for the first knock-on, I think, the referee. Because there was a knock-on certainly from Keighley, but it was Moy who lost it in the first instance. So head and feet again here.
Well, they're going to have to change their attitude in relation to the quality of their skill. If they're going to play this way and offload, then he needs to make that stick. Fui. A couple of times now, it's the 3rd time I think they've failed to complete a set, the Wolfpack, which has given Keighley every reason to be in this game.
Feathers is getting a bit of treatment. Holding his shoulder. Taking a time out, he's okay. It's a bit of a John Wilkin look about him, hasn't he? James Feather.
You reckon?
Just a little. There's Craig Lingard, who looks nothing like John Wilkin.
We'll be happy. Craig Lingard started his second half really sharp.
Saying about the Batley legend that he was, I think he's got a stand named after him, isn't he? Batley these days. Time leading point scorer at Batley, but now cutting his teeth as a head coach here at Keighley. Feather at dummy half. 18-22, within striking distance. Brooke, whose silky skills we've seen. You wouldn't describe O'Sullivan as silky, but he doesn't lack ability. As he takes it in and he's put down. Feather left again. Biharol, the Toronto line was rushing up quickly there, Briley. But Keighley, they get another set. It was a Toronto touch that's given them another set of 6 here. Bailey's put down on the 0 tackle. Plays it about 5 yards away from what it should have been played. Feather is going to get a penalty here because he ran at the not square markers. And there's some experience going on down the middle from Keighley.
Well, it's smart play from Keighley. They're making the most of the noise, of the energy, of the enthusiasm.
And here they go, Brendan Rawlings. The Yorkshire Aussie, 5 metres out, back towards Biharol. It's now with Brooke. And the youngster, Aronson, snapped up. Very nearly snapped, looking at the size of it. Here's Feather. Running with determination, O'Sullivan. Just inside the 10. Feather again, lines up. Remember, they've still got Conroy to come back on the field as well. Now it goes right. Segar's put down. 2 yards away. Big moments in this game.
Big moments.
Feather back to Hawkyard. Biharol with the dummy and the step, but there's a wall in front of him. Laithwaite, the solidest brick section of that wall. And the last play, Feather high, asking the questions. The ball's gone to ground. Was there a knock on? Touch judge will have his say. Referee nods his head. Head and feed for Keighley. They've got another set of 6 here to hammer this Toronto line.
Well,
wow.
It's all pressure. It's all Keighley. It's all wow. A game on our hands, and is there a knockdown there? Probably yes.
This is a test of the Wolfpack resolve. Their lead is slender. The tank is nearly empty, given all the work they've had to do in defence. But they've got to go again, as here comes the test. Led by Ryder, and a penalty again. Effectively, it's not that much of a problem. It just gives them an extra tackle to make. Well, that takes his time. This will be in Toronto's advantage because they can get a bit of oxygen back here before the next wave of attack comes, led by Segar.
Big test this of the Wolfpack.
Look at this, big pass out to that left-hand side. Brooke, Biharol tries to slip his man. Enough done in the initial attempted tackle by Hall to slow Biharol down. Feather. It's O'Sullivan again. 10 away. Feather stands and waits. Left to Biharol. Oh, it's juggled and dropped, and it's away here from Pownall.
Will he go all the way? Will he go all the way?
Look at the youngster chasing him.
Will he go all the way?
Aronson's beaten with a step, but he slowed him down enough for Finnegan to get back and make that tackle. But this is Hall, out to Wallace. Wallace, now they'll score. No doubts now. All that defence turned into stunning attack with a try at the end of it. Worthington finishes. Toronto survived the storm, and out comes their sunshine at the other end of the field.
Wow, breathless. First of all, you've got to think that Keighley are going to score at the other end. They bomb the opportunity. Pownall picks up the pieces. He flies down the outside, beats one man and gets run down. And then it's just a spread play. The Keighley team just couldn't quite get back up the hill. But wow, 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 wow. Here it is. This is Hall. This is the finish. And he spreads the ball to Wallace. He just has to find Whiting, who's shaped up, and hands it on to Greg Worthington to finish the break on the other side from Pownall. That's the rundown. That's where he got caught Hawkyard in the end. And then it was just a pass play. Get it out there. Get it out there. The Keighley team just could not get back up the hill.
Well, one end to another. We'll have a look at all of that in just a second. Let's watch this kick here from Hall, but Keighley were knocking at that. They were banging on that. They had one of those big things that they knocked doors down with, didn't they?
Yes.
And I'm following it. I'm getting influenced by you here. Here comes Hall. The kick's gone wide. But it's 18-26. Now have a look at all this.
Let's have a go. So Keighley are going to score here. That's what we're calling. He just knocked on. And then Pownall was gone. He's the big one bloke. Beats the first bloke. Gone. He's still gone. You can't get him. Yes, you can. Somebody's coming across him. Oh, beats him and another one. And wow, great scramble from the Keighley defenders. And then there's just black shirts in the frame, in the width, and get to the other end. Couldn't see it, could you?
Unbelievable. Get out of jail free card just been played by Toronto. Great pace from Aronson, by the way, to get back and stop Pownall, but he couldn't thwart the try. Didn't quite stop him, but he did enough to slow him down. Come on, Cougars, get stuck in is the advice from supporters down below. Well, they have got stuck in today, haven't they? 21 minutes to go here. Bussy, not usual. Sheer determination down the middle. Bezic. Good work from the veteran.
I think they're doing route one at the moment. I think they've seen all the pressure being under. I think they're just trying to get to the other end of the field.
Emmett again. That's tackle 5. Here comes the 6th. Bezic. Brellis just going to kick it. Looks for behind the line. Great falling catch from Harold. Really?
If he picked that up cleanly, he's done brilliantly well, hasn't he?
A wicket keeper. One played down the leg side and he still manages to gather it in. And we're catching our breath a little. Feather. Well, they're up to it. Hawkyard. Off he goes. Kay grabs him around the knees. You can't run without these, son. When I've got your knees in my arms, you stop him.
Did well there, Kay. Had to do well. Hawkyard split them wide open, didn't he?
Rawlings. Good effort. Townsville born. Brendan Rawlings. That'll be the venue for a couple of World Cup games this year. Well, that's a high kick.
Wow. Wow. If he catches that, he goes under the sticks. He nearly caught it, was under the sticks. Wow. Done a lot of wows today, haven't I?
You have, yeah. You threw your wow quota. You slow up on the wows. Good effort from Hamish Barnes. That was Emmett. So I think he got one of the match here, didn't he, when we played here last? In the last game here.
Brendan Rawlings.
Jacob Emmett.
Oh, Jake Emmett, yeah.
Out of dummy half goes Bezic. Emmett again. Turned around and faced the wrong way. So up he gets and twists himself around again. And here's Wallace. And there's signs here as Worthington takes it in and bumps off the young fella. He's been around now, Aronson. He's hanging on. He wants the ball. I want the ball, ref.
He's got it.
I want the ball, ref. I've got the ball. No, you haven't. Oh, yes, he has.
Took
yes,
it off him.
He has. Good effort from the kid.
Great effort, one-on-one.
Harrow. And left it goes again and tracked to the middle of the park. Mercy given here, penalty for Keighley. Too much messing around in the tackle. That tackle on Bailey and the kick from Harrell. Well, they're only one score away from putting the Frighteners up the Wolfpack again here.
Definitely. Can't rest on their laurels. Footwork trouble in this Wolfpack team at the moment.
Lider up to his feet, and here's Baharul. Well, I'm not sure who that was aimed for. It's picked up by the wrong-numbered, wrong-named Hamish Barnes. Feather. Oh, it's a bit of a fumble in face of what was coming his way. And here's Kay collecting from Worthington's pass. Kay doesn't want to go down with the ball. He's having a fight here. He's having a fight, him and Feather. Oh, they don't like each other. And eventually the referee has to step in and he's given a penalty to Toronto.
Well, he did do a little bit too much here. James Feather just did a little bit too much. I understand the aggression, I understand. I think it's the right call here. I think Kay's trying to get on with the game. He's half beaten somebody, he's half beaten another person. Feather's trying to put him to the ground, quite put him to the ground. He's still gold of his shirt and just a bit too much there.
And Feather's being called out for a talk. Can't do that, sir. Didn't do anything there. Penalty gone against him. Ryan Braley with the kick to touch, and Toronto will start 40 metres away from that Keighley line. Sidlow. Jacks on the field wants it played quickly. Place of Bezic getting a well-earned rest at the moment. Here's Bussy. Just seems to have one direction and one intent on his mind every time. Just hits it into that line of defenders as hard and as quickly as possible, and a second attempt to pull him down has given the Wolfpack another penalty here. It's gone against Mike Emmett. Enjoying his first season here at Keighley, having been signed by Coach Lingard. There's Jake Emmett. Rhys Jacks. Oh, it's gone behind Wallace. It's gone backwards, the referee says.
Yeah, it did go backwards.
Yep, no arguments there. Jacks, Wallace. Clobbered. You can hear the tackle there, the effort coming in from Brendan Rawlings as he made that tackle count. Jack stands at dummy half. He's had a little glance left and goes right, and Sidlow now stoutly forward again. Honest endeavour. Still a couple of tackles in the bag here. Jacks. Briley, Wallace, quick hands. Oh, almost a knock-on opportunity. Knocking for Davy Dixon. Had he caught it? Oh, it's a zero tackle. It's Hall who's picked it up. Keighley have to respond quickly. And a penalty again. They're really hurting Keighley, these penalties. I think the referee's going to give a team warning here, is he? He's having a word with Feather.
I think Feather might have had a word with him. I think that's why.
Is that what it is? All right. The old Cameron Smith approach. Referee the game from the number 9 shirt. Another set of 6 here for what it's worth, because that ball's been knocked down. So the tackle count now starts from here. And Keighley with a lot of work to do. The Wolfpack 10 metres away. Emmett in and down. Jacks up at dummy half. Sidlow's run round to that left-hand side. Briley with a short pass. Bussy looking for the hard work route to the try line. Jacks again. QLT, quick hands, too quick, picked up. Now we know this lad's quick, but he's not allowed to get in his stride there, Aronson, because Kay had him. They want a penalty, they're not got a penalty. It's taken on again here, a strider 2 by Davy Dixon. And Keighley survived that spell of pressure really well.
Well, it was a poor finish. They had a lot of pressure there, the Wolfpack. They've got to make better use of the ball than they have.
Feather. Scott Law's back on the field. Trey O'Sullivan is the man who's gone off. A little, there's the mousetrap play from dummy half. Hawkyard, Feather, big hurl to that left-hand side. Shepherded towards the touchline. The Wolfpack want to get them out there. They have got them out. Good defence.
Was good D. Needed to be as well. Keighley testing every facet of this Wolfpack defence at the moment, aren't they?
They've stayed in the contest here today, haven't they? We've seen it often. Teams giving Toronto a real battle, but then fading away. But Keighley so far staying in this. There's still 12 minutes left to play. How much fuel have they got in their tank?
Well, I think the belief's there, the way they're playing, the way they're throwing the ball around and running out of dummy half.
Everybody's happy to take a breather here. Get some.
It is a warm day, though, as you've quite rightly pointed out. You know, we haven't mentioned that too much. It will take its toll on both teams.
Unseasonably warm for this this part of the world. Briley puts it in here, and we get underway again. Oh no, we don't. Oh, we don't. The referee's not happy with the scrum. Has to be clean. Has to be tidy. So Ryan Briley can have another go. He'll just stick it into the back row. There he goes. Stick it into the back row, son. And off they go. It's Wallace with a step. Just, challenging that Keighley defence right from the off. Jackson at dummy half again. Shifts it to this left-hand side. Oh, and they've dropped the ball. Dropped the ball clean. Worthington looks at the referee appealingly. The referee is not going to succumb. And there's another little chat going on here between Feather and Worthington.
Well, looks to me like he dropped it.
Yep.
Yep. He dropped it cold.
Fui is on the field. Taking his time to get to the scrum here. So Keighley with a great chance now. And Toronto knowing that they need to measure up. They've got to keep this concentration. They've already given a penalty away. The man pushed off the ball. So penalty for Keighley. 40 metres out. Remember, they trail by 8. They have to score twice to win it from here. And back on the field comes Nathan Conroy. And that alters the dynamics because as the big fellas begin to tire, we've seen how zippy Conroy can be from dummy half. So that just gives another little perplexing thought and conundrum for Toronto to deal with. Just having a word with the is it the two captains here, Brandon Rawlings and Craig Hall. He's got his back to us, so we can't lip read, but what are you guessing he's saying here, Brandon?
Well, I think the game's getting a bit scruffy, does that make sense, and a bit angry. I think he's trying to take the heat out of the situation, the referee.
So here we go. What a set this is. Conroy with a tap. In by Sagar. 10 metres away. Conroy fresh from his long rest on the bench. It's with Brooke to Scott Law, who's just beyond 10, just within the 10, I should say. Conroy again waits patiently. There's nothing offering for the dummy half in that position. Brooke again. Drops it inside for Sagar. Sagar is dealt with. So they've gone right. Now will they go left again? They do. Baharrel's kick early in the can, already testing, and a roll! Finnegan! Oh, and they couldn't get there either. Well, the referee has given head and feed for Toronto in the end, but Finnegan with a real chance.
Great leap, wasn't he? Just couldn't quite hold it in, could he? He's got the jump on Johnny Pownell, as you'd expect in that situation with the attacking winger. He gets up, and he just can't bring the ball in. So, smart kick.
So that's a set that goes a-begging, and with the clock ticking down, they won't get too many more sets here. Keighley, Pownell's getting a bit of treatment on that far side. Game's held up again. He's okay now. So in goes the ball, out it comes. Kind of attitude is displayed by both sides here now because Keighley are desperate to keep Toronto penned down there. The Wolfpack looking to charge their way out of trouble. Next score, if there's to be one, will be massive. Toronto score next, they win it. Keighley score next, who knows who wins it. 7 to go. Jacks goes left. Worthington inside the 40. Advancing with menace, but with only 2 plays left. Jacks, Emmett, shoulders it in and offloads, and there's Jacks, and Jacks is reined in. Well, what a great offload that was from the big man. Out of the tackle there, Emmett. Last play to go. Bussey delays the pass. QLT has a man in his face, Finnegan, and they've got to hand it over right there.
Well, not a great descent to a set there. Jacks got tied up, so he was there. Briley and Wallace were on the other side of the field, so it went to Bussey, who couldn't find a player there. So great defence from Keighley. Poor finish from the Wolfpack.
Could be quite a finish to the game, though, because Keighley will wind themselves up at least 6.5 minutes to go. Remember, that's not the official clock, so there'll be stoppage time to add on to that. At the bottom of your screen, it's Conroy. We're going to see another flash of inspiration from him before the game is out.
He's looked sharp, hasn't he?
They want a penalty, they're not going to get it. Emmett, oh, it's a poor pass. It is picked up by Brook, but there's nothing on for him. Just a wasted play, really. It's 1 tackle less to try and make an impact. Emmett, Mike Emmett. Conroy was a 40-20 attempt, but it's nowhere near where he wanted it to go. QLT will collect it and runs it back, and we know the danger there, and that's a pass away, but out comes Finnegan again. He's had his moments today, hasn't he?
Played well, hasn't he? This guy's played well as well, QLT, hasn't he? Carried the ball well along with Liam Kay from the backfield.
To start thinking about your man of the match before long as well. Here's Emmett. Jacks, Wallace, dummy, and a step. Still tackles in the back, but only a couple of them. Jacks again, Bussey's to his right-hand side. Off he goes again, looking to rip his way through, and then gets a good offload, and Emmett now goes back to where the half hole had appeared, but it closes. Jacks, Briley, QLT's pass is on the ground, not the best for Pownall to try and deal with, and again the set ends with Toronto rather tamely handing the ball over here, not testing that Keighley line.
No, when you think a short kick would be applicable or some kind of offensive kick, but back in their defence, handing the ball over here.
It's a difficult one for Bailey to deal with first off.
It was, wasn't it?
But he has dealt with it. They don't need to be too loose. Finnegan's going to have a go from dummy half, and then gets that pass away. And it's the man off the other wing, Davy Dixon. And he flicks it out to Hawkyard, who's running all the way around the back of those defenders to see if there's a gap there. He bounces off Briley, and here he comes again. Oh, you don't bounce off Fooey. You don't bounce off Fooey. You stay down when you start counting stars. 3 gone. Keighley inside their own half by a distance. Collected now by Conroy. Oh, it's a juggle by Sagar, just about keeps a hold. They've still got 50 yards to go. They'll be trying everything here.
Well, it's all on the kick, I think. I don't think they'll go for the run. I think they'll go for the big spiral.
Oh, but Harrell. Oh, Moy's done really well, but they've kept it alive here. Kept it alive. Riders with a pass. Here's Finnegan. Finnegan with a little kick back to the middle of the park. Oh, he's got there. Finnegan scores. Oh, my word. What a try that was. And what a finish we've got on our hands now. With at least 3 minutes to go. Finnegan. Wow. That was sensational.
Brilliant finish. No right to do this. Well, there's the tackle. Last play coming up. What will they do? But Harrell goes at the line, decides to take it on. That's made probably forward, but they're off. Finnegan down the sideline. No right to do this. Great little chip kick on the fly. I have to say, that's great skill, isn't it?
That is, at that pace, I mean, the chip, he might do that another 100 times and not come up with that result. But who cares? Finnegan. And we start to think again about an upset here. 22-26. Kick from the touchline. Baharol puts this over. The gap's only 2 points. A slender penalty would be between these two sides, but you suspect Keighley would have to score a try again. Whatever, they have kicked the goal. It's 24 points to 26. Toronto might be teetering. What have they got now? Vinny Finnegan has set this match alight.
Hasn't he just? Great finish, flying down the outside. Puts his toe on the boot. Who knows what's going to happen? He does. He's going to score a try.
Great celebration. So here we go. 1 minute and 20 plus stoppage time to play. Keighley on the verge. Toronto cannot afford to lose again. 1 point clear at the top at the moment. They want to take that 3-point cushion back with them to Canada. Can they hold on?
Well, there'll be short kicks, trick plays. You can imagine everything at the back end of this set from Keighley.
Conroy taken in by Bailey. He's put down into the last minute of normal time, but stoppage time to come. Remember, that's not the official clock.
Well, I think they're setting up for a kick here.
Picked up by Conroy. Well, that's not in their plan. That wasn't in their script. Here comes the 6. Baharol will just chip it downfield. He's looking for touch, is he? Yes, it goes out of play. So Toronto will get it back here. But what a set of 6 in defence this you can expect from Keighley. They'll throw everything at the Wolfpack.
They're looking to force an error here out and then get the ball back. Wow, what a game we've had.
It has been terrific. Absolutely terrific. Toronto's first competitive match in this country was a blood and thunder affair in the mud at Siddle, Halifax in the Cup, when one try did it, scored by Ryan Burrows. Their last game this year in England is another blood and thunder affair, but this time in the sunshine. Do they hang on here, or have Keighley got their number? Kay will pick it up, runs it out, looking for yards. Determination required here. Emmett, they got a penalty. Oh, it's a penalty, and it's a costly one for Keighley. It runs down the clock, and it gives Toronto another set of 6 inside their opponent's half.
I wouldn't say they needed it, but maybe they needed it. It was that kind of game, that kind of tension that Keighley have created here today.
Well, the ball's out of play. Brian, you've got to start thinking about a man of the match in the last few seconds of the game. There's the drive. 20 metres out. Bezik's put down. Out goes Jacks. Here's Emmett. Emmett put down, less than 10 away. Jacks again, they're taking their time here. Back to Brierley. Wallace, QLT, steps inside. QLT still going. Cross to the other side of the field. Couple of tackles to go here. Toronto looking to finish it. Bezic looking to finish it. Bezik's claiming it. No, he's held up. They've got to go back 10 metres. The job ain't done yet. 2 minutes of stoppage time played. Keighley desperately won that ball back. Toronto desperate not to give it to them. Brierley. Wallace with a kick. Taken in. What a good kick that was. Aronson always favoured to get there.
There's a lesson there for the Wolfpack. They haven't finished sets particularly well today. There's going to be a short dribbly kick, if I'm not mistaken here, of Keith, because they need the ball back. But that finish to a set is as good as any.
Referee stops the clock. There's another bit of on-field servicing being done. Rawlings Rawlings just tapping up the fingers, making sure that they stay on his hand before the match finishes. Worry about them when the hooter's gone. Stick them on for the time being, physio, thank you. What's going through his mind at the moment, Matty Baharrel? What trick has he got up his sleeve here?
Well, it has to be a short kick. They want the ball back. I'd either chip it high and try and get the ball back, or a little grubber kick in between the 4 Toronto defenders at the front there.
Well, here he comes. He's going to go long, looking and hoping that there's a knock on here. That's the only thing they can hope for now, as Bussey takes it in. There won't be any offloads attempted in this set of 6. You wouldn't think. Here's Kay. Who knows what kind of occurrences take place with the adrenaline running as high as it is at the moment. Emmett now just puts that ball up his jumper and drives it in. Jacks. Bezic. Again, just that honest endeavour. Jacks goes right. Briley, Bussey. 5 gone. 1 play to go in this set. Keighley desperately wanting it. Briley with a little kick through. It's collected by Hawkyard on that far side. He was heading ominously towards the wing of Finnegan, but he's stopped well.
Do or die now for Keighley.
5 tackles in which to make a little bit of local history here. Make that 4 and 80 yards to cover. Is there a hero in their ranks? Can Toronto hold out? See the job through? It's the winger Kay's dropped back because he was expecting a kick, I think, but it stayed in the middle, and because he's dropped back, there's a bit of space here for Hamish Barnes to run in, but Kay comes up quickly and covers the gap. Now it's Conroy. Keighley. Baharrel with a kick, looking for the penalty, has got the penalty. Well, you can say with 100% certainty that Baharrel was hoping for that, and he has got a kickable penalty. 35 metres out. Do they go for glory or go for the 2? I think Feather's indicating they want the 2. A draw is what they want. They're going for a point here, Brian Noble.
Yeah, I think it's the right decision. Make a big difference in their chase to get in the top 5 for the playoffs.
It may or may not be the last kick of the game. Craig Lingard, oh, he cannot watch. He cannot watch.
Well, he hasn't missed one all day, has he? He's top goal kicker.
You've just put the jinx on him there now, haven't you? Matty Baharrel. The roofs will come off the various stands around Cougar Park if this kick goes over. A few thousand eyes focus on Matty Baharrel, who's put the ball over the bar, between the sticks and over the stand for good measure. It's 26 points apiece, and still we play on. There's the hooter. That tells you what it means, that the superstars of Toronto have come to Keighley. But Keighley have taken a priceless point. Could be huge for them.